Have you ever noticed that the moment you leave the house without your watch, something feels off? Not wrong exactly, just slightly unsteady. Like you're missing a hand, not the one on the clock, but one of your own. You check your phone for the time, then check it again 2 minutes later, and somehow it's not the same. If you know that feeling, trust me, you're not alone. And today, we're diving into the psychology of why some people don't just wear a watch to tell the time, they wear it to feel like themselves. For some, a watch is just an accessory, something that matches the outfit, fills the wrist, catches a little light. But for others, it's something quieter and deeper. It's an anchor, a small ticking reminder that time is passing, that they are present, that they are oriented in the world. And that need for orientation, it says a great deal about how a person is built on the inside. Psychologically, people who feel grounded by wearing a watch often have what researchers call a high need for cognitive control. Their minds are constantly scanning, planning, sequencing, anticipating. For them, uncertainty isn't just uncomfortable, it's quietly exhausting. And the watch on their wrist is a way of saying, I know where I am. I know what comes next. I am not behind. It's not about being rigid. It's about feeling safe inside a structure they can trust. There's also something in the ritual of it. Putting on a watch in the morning is rarely just dressing. For these people, it's a quiet declaration, a signal to the brain that the day has begun, that they are ready, that the world is manageable, and they intend to move through it with intention. Psychologists call this a behavioral anchor, a small, repeated action that tells the nervous system, we're okay, we're in position, we can begin. Here's something most people never say out loud. Some of the most high-functioning, deeply composed people you know are quietly held together by rituals this small. Not grand plans or iron discipline, just a watch on a wrist, a cup of coffee made the same way, a seat in the same corner of the room. Because control, real psychological control, doesn't always look like power. Sometimes it looks like a leather strap and a quiet second hand. And for some, the attachment runs even deeper. Research in personality psychology suggests that people with anxious tendencies or those who grew up in unpredictable environments often develop a heightened sensitivity to time. When the world around you felt chaotic as a child, knowing exactly what hour it was could feel like the one thing you could hold on to. So as adults, the watch becomes less about punctuality and more about peace, less about scheduling, more about steadiness. But here's the important part. There is nothing fragile about this. Needing structure doesn't mean you can't handle chaos. Craving control doesn't mean you're afraid of life. It means you understand yourself well enough to know what keeps you functional, focused, and calm. You can be deeply spontaneous and still need the watch. You can be adventurous and still glance at your wrist every 20 minutes, not out of anxiety, but out of habit, out of comfort, out of a quiet relationship with time that most people never stop to examine. Because for some, the truest form of readiness isn't a full calendar or a 5-year plan. It's a familiar weight on the left wrist, a glance downward, a small, steady confirmation that time is still moving, and so are they. So tell me, are you one of these people? Does the watch come off only when you sleep, or not even then? Drop your answer in the comments. We explore the hidden psychology behind everyday habits, and I think you'll want to stay for what's coming next. See you there!